All right, can you hear me now? All right, cool. I know what went wrong. I wanted to play Baldur's Gate 3 on the couch yesterday, so I've moved the computer out there and I'm plugging back everything, and it seems like when I do that, I get some errors and issues. I had an issue with the webcam. Hopefully I'm not got duplicated sound or anything like that. I will just say everything I just said before again. All right, welcome everyone. Yes, you're VIP. I'm surprised you didn't notice that the other day. Today we're not focusing on programming. We're actually focusing on sort of the how objects flow. So when a person creates a new object, what statuses can that object go through? So for example, can they move it to blocked? Will they have a custom sort of process that they want to follow? Will we be able to lock it down so that when someone essentially puts it on a particular status, it can only do other statuses from that? So essentially we're looking at building more features into NearBeach and trying to improve it tenfold. So yeah, and also the supervisor. Here she is. So let's jump into it. I am going to go into our issues. The great news is we don't have many issues at the moment. We do need to actually go through and do a full massive shakeout test of NearBeach, which will probably happen on the weekend. There's other things which I want to do also is implement more unit tests, get that up, because currently at the moment we've got I've got that around the wrong way. I put front-end coverage. So the front-end coverage is actually 33% and the back-end coverage is 70%. I just realized I put something wrong on my whiteboard, and I just found a bindi or something in Sox's fur. I'm just going to remove that before it causes issues. Sweetie? Yes, I know. I'm trying to get this thing out of your little fur. There it go. These little... Don't know if you guys can see that Sox is just complaining. So these little tiny things in my hand, I don't know if that can focus, but it's a little spiky thing. It looks like she's been running through some tall grass or something like that. They get trapped in animal fur. It's not nice. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to talk about the flow of everything and how we're going to improve it. We're also going to be looking at where we can improve things. A lot of these tickets cannot remove folders. We will be also discussing this flow. Users can add, remove groups. All right, cool. We need to talk about this flow also, how that will work. Requirement items can still be edited and all that kind of stuff. So we need to, once again, flow sort of effect. Rejected, this is once again flow because we need to discuss the statuses and how each status will affect everything else. I think there's going to be an extra status for this. Cannot reopen closed objects. We need to talk about that. Now that's also with the flow. So for example, who can reopen that and how we're going to display that on the screen itself. So let's go into folders. I am going to open up a new tab. I'm going to open up this drawer. I'm going to reset the canvas, and I noticed last time that where does this really cut out? I think, wait, I'm waiting for, oh no, not there, around about here. I think it cuts out. Yeah, all right, sweet. Let's reset the canvas, confirm. So about here is useless space for me. Okay, cool. So it would help if I plug in the tablet. All right, sweet. Let's just new canvas this, reset canvas. Let's go okay. I'm gonna try and draw this really well. So with folders themselves, let's take a hierarchy. We'll go from the top down. So we might have a particular folder. Oops. But that's kind of nifty that I can do that. Which might have underneath it more folders. Like so, and maybe a document or two. I will get better at drawing. So just bear with me. Now, what happens when we delete this folder? We will lose access to all of these. So if we do this on any sort of computer system and so forth like that, these will get deleted also. In NearBeach, we kind of do want to flag these as deleted, because one thing which will actually happen is these are actually a UUID. And what actually happens is we just soft delete that UUID. So what that means is in the database, there is a field called is deleted. And we flag that as true. It's a simple way of deleting things without having to delete anything. The good news about this is if someone's made a mistake, we can just go, all right, false. We can revert that change quite easily. Now, this in itself does have some issues. So one of the issues is one of these documents, whoa, I pressed a couple of buttons then. Come on, number 7. Being stored in like S3 in a blob. So blob storage. And that's there for ages. Depending on the size, it can rake in, it can still cost. All right. After a while, planning and discussing, I want to make sure that, you know, oh, I just pasted my tweet. All right. After a while, that can sort of rack up costs for deleted files. Right? Because we're not removing them at all. As for the cost of currently existing files, I mean, you got to bear that because that's what you want. We've got to talk about this also. What are we going to do? And what we could potentially do is add a permanent solution. I'm actually going to move this pad so I can actually do this properly. All right, cool. So a permanent solution. And what that means is, and this is where we talk about the flow, is we could say after 3 months of being deleted, we purge those records. So the idea is, we have our little graph here. Okay, so let's go 1 month, let's go 2 months, 3 months, and 4 months. The cost of that one document, even though this will probably be less than a cent or something like that, will suddenly go whoop down here after being deleted. And then it's no longer there. Now, I think 3 months is a good time frame. Because no one will have, people would have noticed that the document's missing. It's a good time frame. as everyone. Sorry about my terrible writing. I'm still getting used to this. Would have noticed. All right, let's just cross all that out because I just said it. All right, and people can be happy. Now, you might have other cases where people are like, well, 3 months is too short. We want this to be 6 months. And others are like, no, we need to keep that documentation no matter what. Socks, you okay? As they might have to do auditing. Another thing with NearBeach is if you, let's say, create an object, you actually have this here. And the thing is, we don't track this exactly with a delete because with these, this acts a little bit differently. So let's say we've got a project, a project description. All right, so you got this. You got the tiny mouse little widget thing. All right, there's a couple of buttons and all that kind of stuff. You paste in an image. There's an image of socks meowing. I can't draw. There's a beady little eyes, there's a little mouth, there's a little nose. All right, I can't draw. What will actually happen is this gets a UUID. But it's not actually connected to the project directly. It is, but it's not directly connected. This UUID is connected to the project in the sense that only people who have access to this project can actually access that document. However, when someone removes this image, nothing's done. The system isn't notified that that image is deleted. So we will have images that will be placed into the what you see is what you get, removed, and the system not updated. So we'll also need to find a flow to clean up these images. I keep pressing that button. Oop, I was meant to click that. Clean up images. And the problem is, as the database gets bigger, you'll have more and more rows added in. Every project, every task, and stuff like that will have more and more data added to it. And essentially, we've got to search all of this data for that UUID to see if it still exists. Which is not going to be fun, because that's going to be labor intensive. It shouldn't be too much of an issue if we had, let's say, 1 million records. But I'm just guessing that. And that's something we could potentially test. Once again, I've got to test this flow out. We have assumptions. For these particular things. The UUID is still used. I'm getting really annoyed about that button. All right. Searching for the UUID is going to be easy. Oh. And searching for the UUID will be fast. All right, another one of our assumptions is removing files from blob storage easy. I'm running out of space there. Storage is easy. All right, I don't write that fast. And we're assuming the time frame. All right, so this one's easy to test. All right, we need to create a project, upload an image, get that image saved and all that kind of stuff, delete that image, save, and then see if that UUID appears or disappears. We also need to upload an image into one and see if we can actually find it. Searching the UUIDs, this is going to be easy to test. Oh, I'm really getting sick of that button. All right. Yeah, I think that's how I'm turning the thing. So once again, we'll create a project or something like that, upload a document to it, and then search for it, because we can easily get that information from the front end. I am actually going to run this right now. So a way to do that, so we go in here. Sorry, Socks is on my mouse. Let's create a new project. Let's call it test image, and so forth like that. We can just open up this. We can go pictures. We can go profile pictures. Let's drag this. I can't drag. Actually. All right, give me 2 seconds, drag that into there. We can actually get this information very easily. There we go. There's our UUID. So then we would essentially search the database and figure out how we can do that. And can we make it easier by having stored procs? But can Django do stored procs? Or will it be a more complicated sort of case where we've got to create the ORM ourselves, where it searches multiple tables, which we can do using the queues. So we can have condition 1 here, condition 2 here, where condition 1 searches the projects, condition 2 searches the tasks, and so forth like that. And it goes through all of them. This searching for the UUID is fast. Now this will need some setup. And I think we would need to actually overblow this. I think we would need to do between 100,000 to 1 million. No, sorry, that should be K. 100,000 to 1 million. In rows or objects. So we'll need to actually create a lot of data. We will then need to put in the images and so forth like that. We can use stuff like lorem, Ipsen. I can't spell it correctly, and so forth like that, to make the data sets as large as possible. And then we just search. We'll start at the lower bounds at 100K, and then later on we'll do a million. I don't want to stop there. What I want to do is I want to do this on a slow system. All right. I have Raspberry Pi 4. I want to get NearBeach on it. I then want to have a fixture. So for those that don't know, fixtures are essentially a snapshot of a database, but you know the data that's in it, and that data is used for texting. We currently have 2 fixtures for NearBeach. We won't be uploading this fixture. This fixture will be just test sort of stuff. I want that fixture to be also installed onto the MySQL or MariaDB instance. So I will have to set up a compose script for this. I'll have to somehow connect to the database remotely to run the fixture. And then when NearBeach connects to it, it's all set up. So I know the users and all that kind of fun stuff. This requires me reading documentation. I still think it's easy because we can create. There should be we can read. Those are the 2 functions we do. We don't update yet. Oops. So we don't do that. That is functionality that we might look at. So for example, you might have someone might have uploaded the wrong document and they've given out the UID key. All right. We might look at the ability so you'll have the delete symbol down here. We might add in an edit symbol where you can edit that document and re-upload another document. But that's something, once again, we will have to discuss with the flow. We don't do delete yet. No, we have the delete button here, but once again, it's the soft delete. And we're making the assumption with the time frame being 3 months. I should actually move this over. Swear to you, my writing is a lot better in real life. All right, 3 months. All right, smiley face. Yeah, sorry about the handwriting, Sandy Lee. Yeah. I'm just not used to this. Well, yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm getting my thoughts out and I'm thinking about it as I do it. And sometimes just talking out aloud helps. It's kind of like rubber duck debugging. Which, fun little fact, my producer constantly called up the other senior dev and so forth like that, and he would literally talk something to the senior dev and then be like, all right, cool, solve the problem, and then hang up. And the senior dev was like, yeah, I didn't do anything. So I got my producer rubber duck. Alright, I'm getting licks now. Alright. So, those are our assumptions. That's how I'm going to tackle those assumptions. So, let's actually write this down. So, Socks, I need my hand. I need my hand. Thank you. Thank you. So, improve meant to the document flow process. So, problem. Oops, I wrote project problem. We can actually do these. All right. Deleted files are soft deleted. They still exist in the blob storage. There we go. So they still exist in the blob storage, which will cost users dollars. Deleted files should be deleted by a user process. Actually, no, should. It's more of a question, actually. What I'm going to do, problem, questions. Right, cool. I'm going to click that. Oh, made that like that. I don't have the header functions here. Well, that's a bit weird. Should deleted files be automatically purged from the system after a specific time frame? How long will the time frame be? Let's wait. Or should this be a manual thing? All right, how long will the time frame be? We'll leave that question like that. So delete. All right. Folders that are deleted. What will folders that are deleted currently will not delete the child components. These can stay in the system as non-deleted, without any way to access them. All right, 2. With deleted folders, are we going to soft delete all child components? Child nodes. Okay. So we've got 2 problems. Also, project description, task description, etc. Contain images. When these images are deleted, the system does not know. All right. Okay, cool. Oh, fuck's sake, socks. The tail's just going everywhere. It keeps like knocking the mouse. All right. There's no real question around this. What should the process be for those images uploaded into Tiny Mouse widgets? B, should we have a we should have an automatic run job that will check for any images and if they still exist. How long should the cron job be? All right, so assumptions. This is where I'm just gonna quickly grab this. Oh, I don't have a second screen. Whoops. I'm just gonna paste it over here. Oh, that doesn't work. All right. Assumptions. UUID is used. Yeah, we know it is used. Okay, assumptions. Socks, can I? UID can be differentiated between one linked to a object and object directly. Do you mind? Yes. Yes. It's hot. Sorry, Socks is knocking the mic away and all that kind of fun stuff. So UIDs can be differentiated between one link to an object directly versus an image uploaded against the tiny mouse. What other assumptions are we using? So let's have a look. We just talked about this, but sorry, it's a hot, scalding day. My brain is out the door. It is, once again, 31 degrees Celsius in here. For those that want to know what that is in Fahrenheit, that is 87. 87.8. Searching for the UIDs will be easy. In the database, searching for the UIDs in the database will be quick. IDE checking all the relevant tables. All right. I'm going to close that. Going to move this over here. So removing files from the blob storage is easy. Redocumentation will be for that assumption. Assuming the time frame. Time frame, how long a file is deleted before it is purged from the system. This could be different from those images uploaded to Tiny Mouse versus the object directly. All right, let's start adding in little tiny tidbits in here. Test by uploading a document to an object. Test versus Tiny Mouse. All right, cool. Searching for the UID will be easy. Test by uploading a document to multiple objects and then finding those, to multiple object descriptions, / Tiny Mouse. Then test by writing simple SQL statements to find said objects. All right, cool. We'll need to flood the database with lots of data. We'll most likely use a fake library. We want most descriptions to have lots of text. Cool. Removing files from blob storage will be easy. Read documentation. Assuming the time frame. Discuss with community. Okay. So this is definitely NearBeach. All right, so we're actually going to put this straight into in progress. And we don't have any linked objects or anything like that at the moment. I've done it as a project. Oops. It's meant to be for a requirement, but that's fine. We can easily put this over into a requirement, but that's fine. We'll leave it as for the moment. So that is one of the things we want to do and want to talk about. Oh, cheers, thank you. It's usually a lot better. Like, you can... You can tell if we go to my profile. As you see here, this is a lot better on the whiteboard compared to what I was drawing here. So this is a lot more readable. Whereas here, I'm having trouble reading that. So. Alright, let's reset the canvas, confirm. Alright. I'm just wondering if I should put this in as a requirement and close this off. I should. Alright, cool. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, this was meant to be a requirement. I've accidentally done it as a project. Oops. NearBeach doesn't have any way of translating them into another thing. So this is in progress. This would be customer requirements. This is closed project. All right. Cool. What game you should play? Oh, fair enough. Depends what you like to play. I'm currently playing Baldur's Gate 3. I should do that like here and be like a yes. So I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, my handwriting's a bit better there. And also Monster Hunter. All right, handwriting getting a little bit better. All right, the reason why I wanted to do this as a requirement is twofold. One, I want to actually test these requirements. I also want to use requirement item because a lot of these will break down into little tiny user stories, in which case then I want to also sort of create more, sorry, I want to then create tasks and projects from it. These games are too expensive for me. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I got this on special, and I think someone actually gave me this. Out of curiosity, what games do you like to play? I sadly don't play that many. It's because I'm usually working mostly on NearBeach. So I don't have much of a life. Okay, so we've just done that one. So cannot remove folders. So what we want to do is we want to create a new requirement item. And this is where NearBeach shines with its requirement items. User deletes folders. All right, so this is a little user story type of situation. User deletes a folder. The folder will contain children nodes, child nodes, which contain child nodes. Okay, now we're just putting this on draft at the moment. We're going to go user case. I'm going to save. User deletes image from tiny mouse input. User deletes image from tiny mouse input. All right, cool. So we'll need to discuss all of this and so forth like that. So at the moment we'll go, this is also Oh, let's go system function. No, let's use a case. What's live? Yeah. User deleted an upload months ago. User deleted an upload months ago. I'm going to fill this one out a little bit more. The upload is still stored in the blob storage. This one's also draft, and this is just a user case. So yeah, we'll fill those out as we go along. At the moment, I'm like, yeah, let's just get this done, and so forth like that. We've got those 3 sort of items. So this is the helicopter. What will actually happen, these are the more details for those sort of components. You can actually click into them, and then we'll edit this, add more information in here, and then we'll actually link it to tasks and projects. So we won't have a project that deals with improving overall stuff. All right, let's move on to the next flow item. So, oh, thank you, Socks. Yeah, just walk all over my keyboard. All right. Users can add, remove groups and users to an RFC that has been approved. So we need to discuss. So new requirement, improve user flow for the request for change. All right, currently the user flow for this robotic head. Currently the user flow for request for changes is not documented anywhere and is confusing. There are certain statuses that are used for multiple different states. Users can edit the RFC if it is closed. All right, so what we need to do is we just need to go in there and fix it all up. So this is currently in progress. The system requirements, this particular one. All right. I'm not going to create any sort of more information on this. The requirements are designed to be, you're meant to talk about it, gather user requirements and so forth like that. The requirement items are literally the user requirements and the stories and all that kind of fun stuff. The requirement itself is the helicopter of that. The idea is later on the requirements will have Gantt charts connected to them. You can then assign projects and all that kind of stuff to it. I do have a good plan for this. So yeah, which is why we're talking about the flow at the moment, because I need to fix the underlying flow to actually get that good stuff out. Requirement item can still be edited when requirement is closed. That's more of a bug than anything. Not dealing exactly with the flow, but that is something we can fix up. We don't really, I think it's quite clear that with the requirement item, that should be closed. But the status of the requirement item, ooh. The status should also matter. Improve user flow for requirements and requirement items. So we've got a problem. When user closes a requirement, the requirement items can still be edited. when user closes a requirement, the requirement items status do not automatically close. What is the flow for these items? Will we automatically update them to a closed status or keep them on their last status? So that is the discussion point. I don't see many assumptions. We are assuming okay, I want to add in another one. What happens if a user accidentally closes a requirement? They will need to reopen it. What happens to the statuses of the requirement items? It'll be hard to revert them back. So we're assuming that it'll be easier to keep the requirement item statuses the same when someone closes the requirement. We could potentially look at implementing a lockdown of the edit screen if the parent is closed. All right. Requirements. Yeah, cool. So that's for NearBeach. That's in progress. Requirement type, system requirements. Okay, cool. So yeah, that we can fix pretty easily, but we do need to talk about that process. We can talk about that one tonight. That's going to be pretty small. All right, Socks is back. She's like, oh yeah, give me some love. There you go, sweetie. You're now on stream. Rejected task manager. Oh, we're gonna go open this. All right, I should actually assign these to myself. So, request for change. This is request for change. All right, so let's do this properly. Problem. All right, we've got a couple of problems. So we don't have anything documented and it's very confusing. There's certain statuses that are used for multiple different states. We need to expand out the statuses so it is clearer. It is clear what exactly happened, i.e. difference between closing and rejecting an RFC. You can edit RFCs if closed. All right, cool. So assumptions. I don't think I've got any assumptions off the top of my head. I feel like the first one is just documentation and writing out the whole process in a sort of, one of those charts. There are certain statuses that are used for multiple different states. Users can edit the RFC. I don't think there's any assumptions with this. Well, I need to change that to the the toast. Should I put that as a bug? Yeah. Just because we're running low on bugs. UI, UX, use toast when saving requirement items. Oop. Still using the old method for notifying users of save. Update this to the toasts method. All right. It's really a task that, and then a bug. This is normal. Actually, this is minor. It's bug. State submitted, assigned to me. Version. We're not going to version this out at the moment. Socks. That's my headphone. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, people are looking. Why is my mic all the way out over here, Socks? It's usually right here, isn't it? Bit shy now. Bit shy that you can see that people can see you causing trouble. All right. Well, there we go. Caught on camera. Yep. Yeah, I'm seeing the replay at the moment. This is should have full screened that. I should have been like, all right, here we go, guys. Look at this. Socks being naughty. I'm hoping there's no popping sounds or anything like that. This is why I put it on the boom, because she kept rubbing up against the microphone and it used to cause a lot of popping noises. But now the microphone's all the way over here, Socks. Like, I've got to lean back. I'm leaning back, Socks. What the hell's going wrong? Now what are you doing? Trying to push it out even more. Alright. Getting back into this, let's have a look at this. So, reject and change task. Cannot reopen closed object. I want this as new requirement and so forth. But first, before I do that, let's actually add myself to this. Like so. There's my picture. Alright, so new requirement. The flow of reopening closed objects. So, we've got a problem. What happens when users close an object? What if user wants custom statuses for their objects? What would be a good one? Blocked. How will the closed button work with the new custom statuses if the button does not know the correct closed status? Alright, let's say closed failed project. Who can actually, this is going to be like general flow of an object. I'm going to go closed. General flow of statuses for an object. Who can reopen an object? I'm guessing, all right, so for those, 0 is no permission. 1 is read only. 2 is edit. 3 is create. And 4 is, it should be delete. Now edit can also close. So I have a feeling putting it on here would be the best sort of solution. Placing the permission at this level would be the best solution. So that's our assumption. We don't implement the delete. So delete functionality not implemented yet. Yeah, we just haven't gotten around to it. As you saw before, I closed the project. I didn't actually delete it at all, and that's fine. So we've got to implement that. So who can delete an object? And once again, we tend to soft delete. And hey, Yashar, how are you? I hope you're going well. Which bug was that? I do believe we did solve the bug. If it's the bug with the Kanban board. So if we go to duplicate tab, this is on production, so I'll probably won't load anything up. So marketing site improvements. Let's just open up this one. So the bug which we had before was when we upload this, it had the thing in the background still. All right, Socks, can I just move your touche? There you go. Thank you. So yeah, that's gotten solved, and I've pushed to production. Who can delete an object? Actually, we know who can delete an object. What happens when a user deletes an object? Like, how will they go around deleting the object? Yeah, so that video should be up in a couple of days. For those who don't know, I've got a YouTube. Oh, don't actually... there we go. YouTube Studio. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 scheduled. So in about 5 days, this one will be deployed. I've just got to settle everything up and so forth like that. But I'm releasing a backlog at the moment, which has been really, really great. I finally got over 50 watch hours. Yay! And 63 subscribers. So thank you very much, everyone. Anyway, what happens when a user deletes an object? So how will they go around deleting the object? Now, user won't be able to undelete. System admin can potentially undelete, because we're soft deleting stuff. So we're literally adding a flag in saying, oh, this is just deleted. At the moment, we don't do that. We will have to figure out that flow. And that's part of the flow that we're trying to figure out today. Okay, so there's all our problems with that. We are making assumptions. I'm just going to put these like this now. What happens when the user closes an object? We won't notify the user if they are closing an object. Just reload the page into read-only mode. Because the idea is it'll be an editor, and if they do it, they'll be like, whoops, and then change the status. I've done it before. Like, we use Jira for work, and essentially I've moved things to the wrong status, and I've just changed it straight away. Perfectly fine. They'll be able to do that. So what will actually happen is, how will this flow work? Because we don't know. All right. What if the user wants a custom status? We are assuming we can easily add in custom workflows, statuses, sorry, with custom workflows. Assuming these statuses won't be changed often, we'll need to discuss what happens when a status gets deleted. I.e move other statuses, move to other statuses. All right. How will the close button work? We are assuming the close button will no longer exist. All right, cool. What happens when a user deletes an object? We are assuming that the user will be prompted before deleting, and there is a 2-second delay on the button. All right. I think that's good. Now I got to add myself. Don't think I've got any requirement items for this just yet. All right, I'm going to put the camera normally. There we go. Okay. I feel like talking either the bottom one or the top one first because they're quite easy to get into. Cannot close open object. All right, let's talk about that one. Let's reset this canvas. Let's go to one of these. So at the moment, if we hit close and then go save, nothing happens with this. Now it's closed. We can't edit this at all, but we can do that. Terrible thing to do. Don't do this because we have no way of coming back from this unless you're a system admin, in which case you will then go requirement, find that one, go here, go in progress, hit save, then go back and hit reload. So that's not a good process at all because someone could easily make that mistake. They can easily change that status and then can't undo it unless they've got to contact a system admin. We need to fix that flow. So if we have a flow, starts here, user close status. Sorry, not status, object. All right. The page should reload. So that's a bug that page didn't reload, and I had to do that manually. We will key in that bug very shortly. All right. Now, what do we want the user to do? All right. What do we want to happen? I'm thinking alert at top of the page. Notifying user object is closed. Like so. Now, with that object, what we could have, if we were to draw it out, it could be an alert. So I thought that's the background, whoops. So it could be a simple closed. But what could we do? Now, if we go in here, I've just, all right, give me 2 seconds. I'll close it again, hit update. Yep, cool, gonna refresh. Notice how we've got this. It's currently closed, but we can still edit this one. I don't know why. I think that's a bug. We could do that. Have it go into in progress, and then it'll update everything, and then refresh. Opened. All right. That is a status. So if I continue with this, I still like having the modal at the top, being object closed. User changes status. Object reloads. And I've got nifty little green background changes. So I'm going to change that back to that. All right. I think that is a potential solution. I think that is the easiest, elegant solution. Another solution is, we have a look in the back end once again. We've got a list of requirement statuses like this. Now, in some of them, if we open them up, we've got requirement statuses closed and stuff like that. What we could potentially do is figure out one where we can be like, all right, use this one, or flag it being like, this is the one which we want to actually use if something's closed. However, I feel that's very, very messy. I feel like that also takes away the user choice, because then they would have to move it into that one. They will then have to change the status and so forth like that. There's a lot more steps to do. So I think through just seeing this bug here, keeping the requirement status or any status fields opened, and then having the ability for us to be like, oh, no, I meant in progress. So let's actually add in that bug. Oops. I need a wireless mouse. I'm like strewn halfway across the desk because it's just keeping the mouse away from socks. All right, method 1, log into NearBeach to navigate to an open requirement. 3, change the status of the requirement to closed. Save the requirement. Expected results. The status is saved and page reloads into a read-only mode. Actual results. The status is saved, no page reload. User can still edit the page. All right. So yeah, we do want this to actually close the page and so forth like that, because it resets everything and it puts it into a read-only mode. All right. So this is let's go that this is normal. This is a bug. It's submitted, assigned to me. This is part of the requirements. And we're not going to put a version on at the moment. All right, cool. So yeah, I like this process. Now, general flow are the status of an object. All right. This is where we're going to actually add items in. So I'm actually going to change this particular requirement item. So I'm just going to go back I'm going to go back. General flow of the status. I'm going to put this back in progress because we are working on it. I'm going to reload. Going to put an item. Great. All right. Flow of a closed object. All right. Method. Or flow, I should state. Flow. 1. User selects the appropriate closed status from the drop-down options. All right. User saves the current object. Object understands that the current object is now closed, refreshes the page into a read-only view. If user wants to reopen the object, 1, the status for the object is allowed, can be edited. If user has permission of edit mode, of edit. User changes the status to something appropriate that isn't closed. Status updates and the page reloads. So how we do this is we've got to figure it out. I've got a couple of options in my head. We'll figure this out. So this is we're gonna review. This is gonna be in review and stuff like that. So this is definitely system functionality, and we're gonna save that. All right. So we got the flow of the closed object. So what happens when a user closes the object? We've got that. All right. What if the user wants custom statuses for the object? So let's put that in. User wants custom statuses for an object. User would like a custom status / flow. The idea is the user will be able to customize this as they please. All right. Notes. Custom statuses need to be flagged if they are in progress, open, blocked, in progress. Well, in progress, blocked, closed. So we currently do that. If you have a look at the Kanban cards, all right, let's go in here. You'll see that Kanban columns, Kanban boards. Oh, Kanban columns. We go into the Kanban columns. Let's just pick any Kanban column. You'll notice that the Kanban property is either normal, so in progress, blocked, or closed. So essentially, we'll be able to figure out if tasks are blocked or anything like that, and then have the certain things flagged and so forth like that. Now, one thing we do with blocked columns is we actually do this in the Kanban board. We can do special things. So if I improve SEO into here, oh, I haven't flagged that as blocked. Give me 2 seconds. So if I go blocked, oh, I have. Oh. That should have brought up a dialog. All right, that should have brought up a dialog. That's a bug. The idea is a dialog will pop up and users will be like, oh, okay, I need to type in a little bit more information because it landed in a blocked column. So moving card into blocked column does not bring up notes dialog. Method 1, user logs into NearBeach. 2, user goes to an open Kanban board. Oops. 3, user moves a card from a normal column to a blocked column. Expected results. User modal pops up notifying user to insert note about why card is blocked. Actual results, nothing happens. All right. We always find the bugs, but that's fine. All right, this one's going to be normal, bug, submitted, assigned to me, subsystem, Kanban, board. We're just going to create. All right, cool. Heads up, I'm going to say sorry about that. I was able to get the mic in time. All right, so user would like to custom status flow. The idea is that the user will be able to customize it as they please. Notes customers will need to flag. Yeah, all right, cool. Customers will need the ability to delete statuses and have any object using that status moved to another status. Now we also do that with a Kanban board. So for example, if we edit this and we delete this, it'll actually be like, all right, do you want to either move the cards, move them, or yes, please delete them. We're just really not going to do that. Okay. Customers will need the ability to delete statuses and have any object using that status moved to another status. All right, cool. What else do we need to do? Renaming should be seamless. Renaming should be very seamless because we'll use the ID. What else do we want to do? We want to all I can think of at the moment. So this is currently, we're reviewing this, and this is some system functionality. Okay. How will the close buttons work if the custom status at the button? All right, we need to remove all existing buttons. That's perfectly fine, very easy to do. We'll need to actually think about the request for changes because they work a little bit differently. Who can reopen tasks? I'm happy with number 3. Because they can edit, they can close, bang, just let them do it. 10 times simpler. What happens when a user deletes an object? How will they do it and stuff like that? That is something we've got to discuss. Because currently we do only the crew and not the CRUD. So a good example would be if we actually have a look at the projects that I just created. We've got improvements to the document flow process. This is the one which I made by mistake, is deleted and saved. So we'll only be soft deleting these. Now this, once again, affects the images. What happens if there's an image against these ones? Do we wait three months? I think so. Because once again, users would be able to reopen them and so forth like that. I think for 3 months or something like that, that sort of time frame, people could come in and just purge those off the system. So, Yeah, we'll have to actually think how that works. I think a button. User can delete an object. User can delete an object by simply clicking on the delete button. But where will it be located? So if we go over and let's list all, let's just click on any tasks at the moment. So this is a task, NearBeach video tutorial and stuff like that. You know, I haven't actually started the task. So we've got all these sorts of things. We can have it delete here. We can have a danger zone, which is what I would prefer having. So we already have a danger zone. If we actually go back to the Kanban information, click on the edit Kanban, we have the danger zone here, delete. But this will take up quite a lot of space just for a delete button. Not ideal. We could potentially put it in here, but this is getting rather cluttered already. So we already have linked objects, documents, customers, bugs, misc, notes, and so forth like that. And there's Morgana. Aww. Oh, that picture is really stretched. Alright, background. Oh, what just happened? Oh, and thank you very much, RJ, for the follow. Greatly appreciated. I am hoping you enjoy my content. Background, what is it? Size, and that would be contain. Oh, no, not contain, cover. Even then. No, that did nothing. Oh, doesn't matter. I'm not worried about that at all. So yeah, I don't want to have it here. Came from the dev dad from yesterday. Oh, fair enough. It's RJ. I can't have two-letter usernames on Twitch. Oh, fair enough. Welcome, welcome. Do hope you're enjoying my content. So, if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm building an open source project management system. We are actually dog fooding it at the moment. We're using the requirements system in it, which is essentially user stories and so forth like that, to sort of plan out what we want to do in the next sort of couple of releases. What we want to do is we want to fix the flow of objects. So when I say an object can be an organization, customer, Kanban board, project, requirement, task, and request for change. So a lot of those objects are very, very similar. For example, project and task will be very similar. Same with requirements. You've also got sub-objects. So for example, a Kanban card will only belong to a Kanban board, and a requirement item will only belong to a requirement. So yeah, we just want to deal with the flow. So what happens when people create stuff, what sort of statuses they want, what happens when someone accidentally deletes something, or closes something. So we've just figured out the kind of flow we want to take for the closing. We're now figuring out the deleting and where we kind of want to put it. So we can easily put it here, but I don't want people to accidentally click it. I kind of don't know if I want the danger zone. So if we just inspect this, what we can actually do is we can actually edit as HTML. We're gonna just copy this. We're gonna jump over here, and what we're gonna do, so we're gonna go out of that. We're gonna edit the toast container. I'm gonna paste it after the toast container. The toast container is fine. I'm gonna put a margin top of 25 pixels, like so. So we could do something that looks like this and have a danger zone down at the bottom. So we've got all of our notes and stuff like that, and then danger zone. That could work. Or we can have the single button there being like delete, which I don't like. And this won't be close, this will be delete. Another thing we could potentially do is have it under MISC. Have the danger zone in the MISC itself, so we can easily put in a danger zone section and have it there. Not a fan. But yeah, I'm afraid people will just click on this, delete yes, and not read anything, and just delete stuff. That's why I am leaning on a danger zone. Yeah. That sucks. Alright, you can delete an object simply by clicking the delete button. Problem. Cannot make button, cannot place button on in a section where a user might accidentally click it without realizing what it does. Okay. Danger zone adds too much to the page. However, it gets its point across. Okay, what else? So we got the problem. We don't have assumptions here in this sort of case. Notes. Let's just key in some notes. Might be best to ask the community where I should place this delete button. Alright, so it's currently in review. This is a system functionality. Alright, did I add myself to this? Yes, I did. Sweet. Alright. I'm going to open up these two. I'm going to actually assign them. Okay. During flow of an object we've done. Oh, sorry, socks. Where did you go? Oh no, that wasn't new. Oh, I just kicked a cord. There's a black cord underneath and I kicked it and I saw black movement and I was like, oh, socks. Was that? No, she's over there, not underneath the desk. So yeah. I haven't created any requirement items for this just yet. But yeah, we need to go through the closed statuses for those. Improves the user flow for the request for change. Yeah, we need to map that out properly. So forth like that. Okay, improve document flow process. Yeah, we need to... I need to figure all this out. Alright. Cool. I think I'm happy with this. Yeah, alright, it's cool. I'm happy with what I've just written down and so forth like that. The idea is we'll come back and we'll quickly neaten it up. So, another thing which we want to do is have a look at new features for NearBeach. So, we're investigating Vite. The idea is hopefully this weekend I'll be able to play around with it. Maybe sooner. We can try tonight. We've got something like this. where we can go through it and just sort of see how easy it would be. So what I want to do is I want to move away from Webpack. Webpack takes me forever to actually compile anything, and I want to see if Vite is going to be a better solution. One sort of assumption is that it's going to cut my, and this is happening on this computer, which is a beefy computer. All right, let's go to settings. Let's go to about. Let's go to my processor. So this is my processor, an AMD Ryzen 9 7950X times 32. You know, that's a beefy thing. All right. Everyone's happy about. I'm definitely happy about this. All right. If we go to monitor. And we go to the resources, just look how many lovely CPUs I've got on there. All right. It's a swell thing. If we have a look at the overview, up to 5.7 gigahertz, up to, I mean, yeah, well, yeah. Base clock is 4.5, which is pretty good. Now, if I go to NearBeach itself, npm run prod, the problem is it does take this long. And there are times where even watch will take quite a long time. It can take up to 48 seconds and so forth like that. That took 12 seconds. I mean, a lot better than my last computer, but still not ideal. If I can get that down to just a couple of seconds, especially when I'm going npm run watch, where sometimes, yeah, this one will, I keep forgetting if this one does take longer. I think it does. It'll be a lot better because there's times where it just takes me forever just to get stuff done. Now that took 7, it's stating. All right, 7's okay. But it'll be better if it's next to nothing. So yeah, this is what I want to investigate. I just closed stuff. Okay, but that's not. Yeah, let's have a look into it. Let's figure out what we need to do. In this article, we'll look how to upgrade a web application from Webpack to Vite. We know what Vite is, so Vite is the latest front-end development tool to be enjoyed. Enjoying a tremendous growth in popularity and adoption. Just check out these downloads from NPM trends in the image below. There you go, yeah, a lovely image. The trend has been driven by a key concept at the heart of Vite, developer experience. When compared to Webpack, Vite offers a significantly faster build times and hot reloading times during development. It does this by taking advantage of modern browser features such as ES modules in the browser. Cool. Considerations. Alright, I can't be bothered reading all of this. Oh no, I know what I kicked. It's the rug is folding. Alright, first step to migrate your project is to create a new Vite application and explore the tool you're migrating to. You can boilerplate a new Vite app using the following. So we'll just boilerplate something. Then start the dev stuff. Now navigate to the display. Yep, cool. Vite will create a directory containing the files pictured below. Sweet. Many of these will be familiar to you and will be like for like replacements in your own application, which would be great. So Webpack, we've got Webpack Common, Webpack Dev, and Webpack Prod. So production just says, hey, we're just production. Dev does development. It has inline source map, which is that little map tool that popped up before. Dev server, content-based dist. All right, watch true. Yep. And then this is the big one. So we've got test for Sass, and it uses style loader, CSS loader, post CSS loader with options, with the plugins and so forth like that, pre and auto fix. and then Sass loader. So test, use, loader, and loader. Yep, Sass loader. And then we're using the test for any views, and we're using the view loader. We're using tests for any of the PNG, JPEGs, and GIFs. And that will use the file loader. We've got tests for just plain CSS, style loader, and CSS loader. All right, so that's how we compile and all that kind of stuff. With the plugins, we've got the new view loader, the mini CSS extraction, the compression plugin, which compresses everything to GZ. We're excluding the tiny mouse because that's already done. We've got the copy plugin, which copies essentially our resources, like our images and icons and all that kind of stuff. As you see, we've got to clean this up a little bit. It copies everything for tiny mouse. The reason why it does that is because we need it in our own static files. We can't rely on the CDN for tiny mouse because we're not paying a subscription or anything like that. So we have to use our own. We'll upload it. And then we got this. I forgot what this is for. We've got multiple different entries. So we compile 3 files. So we've got the NearBeach file itself, we've got the login file, and the loader.js. So the loader.js will be the smallest and will be loaded before anything else. The idea is that will contain the curtain. So whenever you go here, it's like bang, curtain's opened, page hasn't fully loaded or anything like that. And the JS there just waits till everything's loaded, and then it'll just raise the curtain. And then our output path, which is our NearBeach static NearBeach file. So for Django, what you want is your Django project, your static file, and then Django again, and that's where you put it. All right. Oh, sorry. Ooh. So that's how our Webpack's set up so far. So making package.json changes. All right, cool. npm install, save Vite. Yep, sweet. Depending on your front-end framework, you might also want to install the framework-specific plugins. So plugin, that's for React. We'll be doing VueJS. At the same time, uninstall Webpack. So yep, we'll have to do that. Now run your development script to try it out. Out of the webpack.config, in with the Vite config. So unless you're extremely lucky, you'll most likely need to include some additional configurations. Vite uses the Vite config.js. I think we might have that. Vite config.js, yeah, we do. We already use this for the unit testing. So we'll just need to flesh this out more. And then adding in plugins. So yeah, I'll probably do that on the weekend. There'll be a lot of swearing, so I won't do that on stream. So, yeah. Implementation of... discuss public links for objects. So this is a user feature that has been requested. Talking about user features, that color changed there in the background, that's also a user feature. Someone brought that up as being a UI UX problem, so we fixed it. Alright, so this will be part of public links. I think that's in the MISC. Maybe not. Oh. Here it is, under Kanban board. Alright, have the ability to send out public links. So I've had a chat to the person, and they've stated that essentially they want it to be at the, like, we can do it at the card level and we can do it at the Kanban level. So they specifically said at the card level, and I think having it also at the Kanban level will be good, and then implementing it on other objects too, and not discriminating between parent and child nodes, or objects I should say. So the way I would do that, and we did something very similar a long time ago, is we want, for a public link, we want a UUID. All right, so the user, they'll click on this UUID link. which will go to, we won't say private because that is, will go to public. And the UUID. And what will actually happen is, depending on what object it is, it will depend what it will render out. So it could render out a Kanban board. Or a read-only, in read-only. Or it could render out a, let's say project information. Or it could render out a card info. Now, we've got to discuss what exactly we want rendered and how we want it rendered. It will be nice to actually have, I do believe if I type in Kanban read only. Yeah. Okay, we don't have a Kanban read only URL. But we do actually have a read only sort of status. Socks. I don't know what's happening there. That was weird. What's the matter, Socks? No, she's not paying attention to me. We do actually have a read-only of this. We have a read-only of multiple other things and so forth like that. The idea is, I think we'll use the same VueJS components for this. I don't foresee there being too many issues, fingers crossed. I don't think people can use that VueJS to try and backwards figure out how to get everywhere else, because they can just look at the code for that. The idea being is a lot of the CRUD will be behind, especially the update and the deletes, and the read will be behind permissions. And if we're sending everyone through the public route, we have some control over that. And what we would want to do is just lock down everything. So there's no buttons, it's just information and only certain bits of information. Now, if that means we need to actually create a different parent module, so for example, down here is the parent module where you can access certain stuff and so forth like that. We might actually have it so it doesn't have the parent module, because I don't think public users want to actually read the notes. I don't think it's safe to do that because we have no real permissions around note hiding and so forth like that. I don't think it's good to add, have them see the tags, any bugs, any customers assigned to it and so forth like that. So I reckon if we have the read-only templates, just have this component up here. Same with the cards. So for example, if they're with a Kanban card, we only want them to see this and the description. And we can have that on a single page. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, actually, no, I want to make that note over here. We're actually going to make this a bit higher. It'll be nice to be able to send a public link card so customers can see updates where a Kanban board that is read only, but you can only see a subset of that board. TTL. All right, cool. This is where we're going to start writing stuff in here. Okay. I'm just going to... Actually, it would be nice to be able to send public links so customers can update the card on the board. A Kanban board, yada, yada, yada. All right, cool. A Kanban card that is read only, but just has detail and description. All right, a project, but only has the project information and not the parents module section, as it contains private information. Yes, Socks, you're being ultra fussy right now. Give me it. For those wondering where those meows are coming from, just behind me on the floor. I don't know why she's meowing. She just meows and walks around the room. I think you can just see her on the webcam. Yeah, there she is, right there. Causing trouble, blending in with the carpet. You can just see her via her little tiny socks. I'll try to get that there. There we go. And there we go. And her little tucks right there. Causing trouble. Alright, so a project. I'm just going to put examples. Don't know why I did it like this. I'll clean this up very quickly. Alright. Should also as a security feature add in. Okay, security. Users have the ability to set the TTL, i.e. expiring link. Users have the ability to cancel or archive or stop a link. Link stopping means the user can turn it on at a later date. All right. Certain information is not shown. I.E. parents module. So we'll need templates for these, but that's easily done. All right. Yes, Socks. I've got to go through this whole entire Tiny Mouse thing and fix these up. I don't think I've laid these out nicely. So let's actually make a bug of that. UI, UX, Tiny Mouse button layout not ideal. Missing several features. All right, cool. Let's paste it in. The Tiny Mouse widget picture from requirements is currently missing the headings, etc. Also, the button layout does not make any sense compared to other examples like Word. Tiny Mouse. Now we won't need a new document or anything like that. Or preview. Maybe export? I don't know. I.E. From Tiny Mouse website. Alright, this is going to be normal. This is going to be bug. This is going to be submitted. This is going to be, hey, piss off. This is going to be assigned to me. This is going to be MISC. And we're not going to worry about the versioning at the moment. Alright. Cool. So, what we want to do, users have the ability. Alright, cool. So I've just expanded that. I'm going to save and continue. Oh, I liked how that worked out. All right, so we have one bug which we can fix tonight. So that's our public links. I think notes. We need notes. Notes. Public links should belong under the MISC section. Under the MISC section. All right, cool. I'm happy. Should actually do that. All right. Shown. Users are always taken to a read-only scaled down view. All right, now I am just going to quickly grab a drink. I will be right back. I will leave you with Socks, and hopefully she will eat her treats in her bed and stay there. All right, cool. There goes Socks. You know what to do. I won't be long. I just need some water. Ooh, I'm sticking to that stool. In your bed. In your bed. Properly in your bed. Come on. No, no, no. There we go. I'm gonna stick one right down there. Stick one down there. Stick one down there. Gotta trick her. Gotta make it so that she's like, ooh, treats. Hey, Max. Did you find the treats? The hidden ones? There are hidden treats. Yeah. Where are they? I think she found one. She hasn't found this one. Love her to bits, but she's not that smart. Still love her to bits. Ah, she found it. Yeah. All right. Let's jump back into it. So we just need to create the CRUD around this. Okay. CRUD. So the C will be user creating the public links on the object. Read will be external users using the public link. I.e public, and then I'm just going to go UUID gen, just generate a random UUID. Nothing exciting, just copying and pasting it as an example. User able to update link I.E, turning it off and on, stopping it. D, user able to delete. All right, cool. I think there's enough information there for me to continue with that. All right, and Socks has run off. She's like, I've got my treats. I will now be gone for half an hour. All right. Cool. The other thing I wanted to do, and this was actually one thing which I was going to be like, if I have enough time tonight, I will program it in. Implement the RFC approval fix list. So that is down here. In RFC, information read-only lists those who can approve the RFC. So it's more of a, it is more of a sort of UI, UX sort of bug. So if I log in as admin, I create a new RFC. So who can approve this RFC? Can Bob approve this RFC? I don't know. Are we still on this one? We're just about to start the next one. I'm just gonna hit it and go all the way to the start. Alright, so if we go high, 0.30.30, we're just going to put the lead as admin user. We're just going to be like, yeah. We're just going to be risk association, implementation, backup plan, underline that one. Create new request for change. What's happening? RFC impact. Alright, I've just found another little tiny bug. UI, UX, RFC, new RFC, not notifying user at bottom of page that fields are missing. Alright, cool. So method 1, user logs into NearBeach. 2, user creates a new RFC. 3, user fills out all fields appropriately except 1 towards the top of the page. User submits expected results. User is notified via a toast that there is a missing field. Actual results, user is not notified, and user has to search for a missing field without knowing it is there, haunting them. Alright, so we're just going to do this very quickly. This is a normal bug. I should put in notes. There should be a validation problem. The validation should automatically trigger the toast. So this is part of request for change. Cool. So I found a few bugs tonight. All right, my current issues. 10. All right, so we found 5 bugs. Good and dandy. We can fix them, get them all improved, fix the flow, which will fix these 5 bugs. So, yeah. All right, so new RFC. Create new RFC. All right, sweet. So here we are. We need to always, let's say, database backup. And we just pick those, and we just close those. So, one other thing. This is definitely a UI, UX, submit RFC for approval button not clear enough. Please see screenshot. As you can tell, the button does not look clear enough. We can't tell this is a button. Okay, this is normal. Bug. Not in progress. Submitted. Signed to me. Request for change. 6 bugs tonight. Okay, I just want to play with that. Let's have a look at Bootstrap. So we've got the buttons. That's the dark. Ooh. I don't like that. Because if we have a look at light mode, compared to dark mode, even the light mode, if you got bad eyesight, yeah, that's not going to work. So we're probably going to have to change this to another button type. Warning works. So I'm going to find that bug. Going to unstar all of those. I'm going to add in a little note. It might be best to turn this to a warning button. Smiley face. Or any other sort of button. Secondary will work. Like, there we go. Secondary will work perfectly fine. Because you want update request for change and then submit. Alright, I'm going to edit my note. Anyway, going back to the original bug. We hit approve. I can't approve. This particular user can't approve. They're not a team leader whatsoever. And we have a team leader in one of these groups. Alright. So if we log out, we actually go to dark admin, we can actually see this pop up here. So we can reject or we can approve. So the idea of this bug, this feature, so we've got to implement that. Yeah, and make it so it only appears in certain cases. Also, we should be notifying the user. So if I log out, I go back in as admin, and I go back to that RFC. It says waiting for approval here, which is all fine and dandy. Where would we put this information? I think right here. The following users can approve. Just in this section down here. We only need to actually get this information if we're waiting to approve. So, yeah. So we'll need to create a backend thing that gets that information, unless we want to pass that information. It's actually a really good question. How are we determining if a user can approve or not? So I'm just having a look at the data. So RFC change lead. admin user. All right, that's change lead. That's all fine and dandy. I'm actually going to open up this in a new container, and we're going to log in as dark admin, and we're going to compare the two. So we're opening up our our Vue component. RFC information. So down here we can see it, the RFC information. Okay. And the config provider, there's not much information down here. We've just got date pickers and update change lead wizard. So you can update the change lead wizard at any point in time. Which really, we shouldn't be doing it at this moment. That's a bug. I'll just save what's visible. RFC. Can update change RFC change update RFC change lead wizard at any point in time. This functionality should only occur when the RFC is in draft mode. We're just going to make that a bit of a major one. I'm just going to create it. So hopefully we can fix that within the flow. So 03030, love the name, we'll be dealing with NearBeach flow sort of bugs and so forth like that. So it'll be, I think, a few weeks till we get another release, but that is perfectly fine. We're actually averaging 5.2, I think it is, days per release. So I'm not fussed if we have to take 2 weeks to do this. I'd rather get this done, sorted, because this is major. This is going to hold back quite a lot of other stuff. For example, the Gantt charts and essentially the sprints. We want to actually sort of jump into those very shortly to add very new functionality into NearBeach, which we're hoping actually all of a sudden improves NearBeach. Yeah. I think I've got on my whiteboard, posted on Twitter, if anyone's interested. So I've got on my whiteboard. Oop. And hey, Drago! Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for the bit. Greatly appreciated. How are you going? Hopefully good. So we're improving object flow, which we've been discussing tonight. The public links we just discussed. Implement Vite we discussed. The RFC, this is the other thing that I want to also implement. I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, we once we implement the flow and stuff like that, we want to jump on Gantt charts and look at sprints or similar. So yeah. All right, so that is a bug, but that's fine. We'll just close that. So why can this user edit this? And yes, hi, how are you? I will lurk. Oh, fair enough. Thank you very much for the lurk. It is greatly appreciated. And thank you very much for the bit. All sort of bits and money which I do collect from streaming actually goes into the NearBeach not-for-profit. So the idea is hopefully we'll be able to, it covers our overhead at the moment, which is great. Hopefully in the near future we can hire people to help us with the UI UX sort of thing, or any other sort of stuff that we want to fix up. Alright, I've just got to figure out why this is appearing. I think it's, do I have it flagged? Group lead account. Group lead account. Alright. That's why. So I am going to easily place in a little information section here. It'll be very similar to the groups and users. So if we actually, ooh, that's a bug. We're finding lots of bugs playing around with the system tonight. We'll have it set up like this, so we've got the user cards. It'll be 10 times easier to do that. Won't be a problem. So new issue. All right. Add user wizard. Not fully using dark mode. This was done on the requirement RFC read-only page. So it's just missing an attribute being sent down. This is normal. Bug submitted. I'm actually going to copy that. It was actually on here, but they've both got the same URL. Unassigned will be me, and then request for change and no version. Okay, so we want something like that down here. So I'm just going to close all tabs. I'm going to minimize this because we don't need it. I'm going to close everything. Oh, we're not on our new branch, so I'm going to branch out right now. So git checkout new branch development 3030. All right, cool. I remember getting excited when going up to 3016, because I think 16 was the last time we had the biggest patch number and so forth like that. We've absolutely gone well past that now, which is good news. So yeah. All right. Getting into this, git checkout, yada, yada, yada. We're now going to open up this. We're now going to open up our source, JavaScript components. We want requests for change, and we want requests for change information. So we've got a bunch of information sections in here. So we've got the implementation and release date. We've got the RFC change user. We've got the update buttons and so forth like that. So where do we want to put this? I believe we want to put it after the change lead. So RFC change lead. Okay, so we'll have HR VF the current status. So this is where we are over here, and look for our status, which I think RFC lead. No, that's not it. RFC results fields and status is 2. So RFC results dot, now that will be 0 dot fields dot RFC status equals 2. All right, and then we have our div. Now this is just a simple row, isn't it? Yeah, just a simple row. Div class equals row. We're gonna bump that to the second line, and we're gonna go v-if RFC results 0 dot fields. I hate when that happens. RFC status equals 2. All right. And then the class row, just minimize that. And then what we have, div class equals col md, and then we've got a lovely 4 there. And then we have div class equals col md8 there. And what we want to do is we just want to put a strong, I hate how this, sorry, the, whatever prettified this certainly made it, ugh. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. All right, so How can we say this? Who can approve? Type of thing. Waiting for approval. P class equals text instructions. Instruction text. I forgot what it is. Let's just have a inspect of that text instructions. Alright, the following users will be able to approve or reject this RFC. Please contact them. Hi, what do you think would be a good code to learn first? Well, that depends. A lot of people, like myself, think Python's really easy to learn. So what you could do is get the very basics up and running very, very quickly. You can learn for loops, how variables work, and so forth like that. However, from that process, it's depending what you want to actually do. So if you're wanting to do game dev and stuff like that, Python's probably not the best language to learn straight out of the bat. Web development, sure, you've got Django to rely on and so forth like that, but you've also, if you wanted to do a lot of WordPress stuff, you would then have to learn PHP. But the good news is a lot of programming languages, when you learn one, a lot of that knowledge is a transferable skill into another. So a good example being, if you did learn Python, you would learn the for loops and while loops and all that kind of fun stuff. That knowledge is transferable. The only difference about that in a different language is just the syntax. And usually a lot of the times you would be like Python for loop. Alright, you go Google and you're like Python for loop. Alright, cool. Here we go, for loops. .NET for loop. And you'll come in and read the documentation and be like, oh, okay, that's how it's done differently in .NET. PHP for loop. And you'd be like, all right, that's how it's done here, and so forth like that. Otherwise, you can get a bunch of programming languages that you're like, okay, let's say you wanted to do web development. You might want to go, all right, cool, I want to get JavaScript. I want to put in PHP, or I want to put in .NET or something like that. Put it in a wheel like this and just hit spin. And we'll go Node.js. I would also recommend, if you're doing web development, having a look at Free Code Camp. Because this is a great place to start. It's not just for web development. I should state that there's a bunch of other stuff in here that it does. So, for example, it does data structures and all that kind of stuff. You got data analysis too, which is definitely not web development. Scientific computing, which is more for the data scientists and stuff like that. You got machine learning. You got the college algebra and Python certificates. Yeah, so you do have web stuff in here too. Hopefully that helped. It's not a real clear answer. I will say Python's pretty easy to pick up, but it honestly depends where you want to go. If you were going into game development, I would recommend .NET. Or C++. But a lot of the engines would be using .NET nowadays. Alright, so we need to just put in another section down here. We've just done that. The following users will be able to please contact them. Alright, cool. And then down here, what we'll need to do is we'll actually have two divs. I was looking into computer engineering jobs and maybe work on games on the side. Oh, fair enough. Computer engineering jobs. I don't know enough to recommend a programming language for it. But what I would recommend is I switched between Mac and Linux. I've got Mac for work, and I've just pressed. The reason why everything shrunk and kept going back is because I keep using the Mac shortcuts, and I'm on Linux. What I would do is I would search for that job. I'm going to search where I live, Melbourne. All right. Computer engineering or software engineering. The fuck. All right, let's jobs software engineering. All right. Really freaking annoying. So what you would do is you would have a look at job markets, and they'll be like, all right, engineering software, information and information and communication technology. I would jump into it and be like, all right, cool. What do they expect? These guys want Python, Java, C++, etc. They want some VueJS, Nux, React. So you would look into here and currently see what the job market kind of wants. And that would be a language I would learn. Albeit, the first language you learn is going to be the hardest. Any other language after that particular point is pretty easy, because a lot of what you learn in that first language is transferable knowledge to other ones. A lot of the times, the other ones, you're just figuring out how it sets up, the syntax, and just any sort of nitty-gritty weird edge cases. So, yeah. But yeah, if you're wanting to work on games on the side, I would use .NET. So stuff like Godot and Unity and so forth like that, pretty much use the .NET. Learn. Alright, I can't find any examples, but just because I haven't really used Godot. So, yeah. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so what we want to do, we want this to come through. We want a simple VF. Now this is where we've got approval users dot length equals 0. And thank you very much for the follow. And welcome. I do hope you enjoy the content. And thank you very much for the bits. Greatly appreciated. All bits and money that I sort of get through the stream actually goes towards the NearBeach not-for-profit. So currently we have enough to cover any overhead, which involves registration and any maintenance fees and stuff like that. And we're hoping to be able to, this is in the far future, like hopefully sometime later or mid next year, we're hoping to be able to hire someone on a very short term sort of basis to sort of help us improve the UI UX. So yeah, that's assuming we get enough money. It's a big assumption. All right, in here, VF, the approved users dot length equals 0. We want to place in currently gathering user list, user approval list. Now we don't want to hide this if the user can actually approve and stuff like that. We do want the list to still load up, and then we have a simple div velse, and then we just to do show cards. I'm just putting that in there at the moment. We need the approval users. So what we need to do is we need to go down to the data. Just down here. Oof. approval users list, currently blank. And we're happy with that. What we want to do, methods. We want to get approval user list. This is just going to run on mount. That's perfectly fine. So what we want to do is, I've just realized the door's opening and shutting due to the wind. I'll be right back. I've shut socks out, but oh well. She'll meow at the door. So we don't need to send any data, we're just requesting it. So Axios, sorry, this.axios.post. And what we need to send it to is this.root URL, object data. I just want to see the request for changes under the object data, the URLs. Because I don't want to create a different sort of pattern so that people will be like, oh, why is this pattern a bit different? And be like, oh, because I didn't check. Okay. Request for change. Because we could get the, we could just go request for change information, the ID, and yep, cool. We'll have the ID. So this dot location ID. Pretty sure we have it here. All right, and then, oh, sorry, was meant to actually click on this one. So we've got update change, the update status. We don't have a get by the looks of it. Yeah, we don't have a get, but that's fine. Get approval users. All right, I'm going to put in the status here. If the status isn't to, i.e. waiting for approval, then just return. Don't need the data. So if this dot request, RC results 0 dot fields dot RFC status does not equal to, we need to actually pass this as an int. And I need to do that up. Return. All right. I also need to do that up here, just because we've been having problems with that. So if, oh, that's a complicated thing I've just done. I need to go through these and actually simplify this section. Okay. So we need to pass int So, going back down, way too far. Alright, cool. So, we're using Axios to contact the backend. This route, get approval users. We just piss them off if they're not status of 2. We then have a then response. This is going to be simple, where this dot approval user list equals this, equals response dot data. So we'll set it up so the data happens perfectly fine. That way we've got it in the correct sort of shape. And then it gets fed into a simple loop which will just render out the cards. Yeah, I believe we've got a component which will do that for us. Or we'll just look at what we've done for the existing components. Now we need to do a catch. So we've got an error. And then we'll go this dot $store.dispatch new toast. So we're dispatching a new toast where the header is going to be error getting approval user list. The message is sorry, we could not get you the list of users who can approve this RFC. We will have extra classes set as background danger and delay as 0. So delay 0 doesn't delay it at all, it just makes it so it doesn't disappear. Alright, so that's that, and then all we need to do is on the mounted get the list of approved users who can approve. This dot get approval user list. Done. It doesn't need to happen straight away. We have a little message being like, hey, this data, we're getting it, so forth like that. So, yep, not too fast. So, let's go to our URLs. So, we've got a get, which will belong after this. Oops. Path. So, straight away, RFC information. We will have an int RFC ID. And we'll have a get approval list. I do believe that is the URL we picked. So let's have a look. Get approval users. All right. Get approval users. Let's keep it correct. So that will be part of request for change views.rfc get approval users. Name equals RFC get approval users. All right, we haven't created that at the moment. Our web server will crash. It'll just be like, no. You gotta have this fixed. So what we want to do is we want to go to our views. We want to go to our request for change, and we want to do. Now, if I have a look at the URLs, we do actually have RSC type of stuff like that. All right, no problem at all. Those are internal functions. So it'll be right here. So the idea is we need this set as a 1. So I'm yanking these 3 permissions. I'm pasting them. Oops. We are changing this to a 1, so anyone who has read-only gets this data too. RFC get approval users, and that's a request. RFC ID, we got our args and our quags. I'm just pasting this in. It's just the usual stuff. So this will be param request. And then we'll have the param RFC ID and return what we're returning and so forth like that. I need to fill this out, all of this out. I'm just terrible at doing it. So what we need to do is very simple. This is where I start drawing stuff. So it's simple, but I just haven't thought of it. Okay. So, we've got an object. Now, this particular object is an RFC. This particularly works with everything else. So we have this connected to groups. Okay, so this is a cross section that we want. This is cross section A. All right. So we have another section where we've got groups and users. And this is cross section B. So what we want is we want a union. I forgot the shorthand for this, so I do apologize. So we've got A and we've got B. So in reality, this is the select users that have access. Who have users who have access to this object. We're happy. All right. We want a subset of that. We want only team leaders from there. And then smiley face. All right. Not a problem. We just got to figure out how. But we're going to be using ORM. So it's been a little while. And I've been straight. Oh, Jesus, nearly 3 hours straight. That's pretty good. We just got to figure out how. So let's open up the database. So I'm going to open up the database. I want sites, NearBeach. We want the database. So we've got a table called NearBeach object assignment. So if we browse this table, essentially it's how all our permissions work. It's a simple, just a matrix that has like, oh, this is object, this is object, and so forth like that. So it's not quite meta. As you see, we've got literally columns for stuff, and hopefully this will speed things up when it gets bigger and all that kind of stuff. So what we kind of want is, I'm gonna go select everything from NearBeach underscore object assignment, where 1 equals 1. And we've got the object name. So the object name is going to be RFC. I'm pretty sure. Request for change. Request for change equals. And in this sort of case, what request for change are we using? We are using number 4. Equals 4. So if we just run that as is. No such column, request for change. Oh, ID? Alright. So as you see, we're getting some data in there and so forth like that. We want to ignore anything deleted, and is deleted equals false, so 0. We are interested in the user or the groups. Sorry. Because that's assigned user. We're not necessarily want the users. We are looking at the groups. So we want anyone who's in a group assigned to it. So, and group ID is not null. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. SQLite. Or is it the column? Yeah, it's just a column. So we've got two groups assigned to it, which we know is true. We can actually go to the RFC, scroll down to groups and users, we can see those two groups. All right? So we're happy with that. So that will be one of the queries. And the second one will be select everything from NearBeach user group, where 1 equals 1 and group ID in, and we're actually getting the group IDs from above. So 1 and 2. No such column as consistency. I'm glad Django actually handles all of this for me. So from there, we've got user group ID. We're ignoring that. Group leader in here. And group leader equals 1. Like so. So if we were to sorry, I don't know what happened then. I wanted to cut this. I wanted to open this up as a secondary query where I have group ID in here. So it ends up being a little query similar to this. We have a that, which we don't need. Oh. There we go. So this is like the query we want to build. Shouldn't be too hard to build. What we're doing, we're going to cut this. Actually, we're going to copy it for reference. So we're just going to go down here. We're just going to paste it in. We're going to use RRM instead of doing it with SQL. So what we have is we got object assignment results equals, and then we have object assignment dot objects dot filter. So straight off the bat is deleted equals false. So that's part of this section right here. Easy done. What we want is the request for change ID equals the RFC ID. Easy done. And what we want, so we want the group ID. So we could change this and go group results. Actually, I'm just going to call that A for the moment, like so. And then what we need here actually, I'm going to extend this. So what we need is user group results equals user group dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false. And then what we're doing is we're now importing this into this. So I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go, we want the group ID in. We're just going to paste it straight in. We're going to delete that A. We don't need it anymore. So we've got this object assignment results. I just got to tab all of this up, and then values, and then we just have group ID. So we're just doing it on the group ID. So we're happy with that. That does this user group stuff. All right. So now what we want to do, so we want to actually copy what we do with the users down here. So I'm just going to add a user in to this request for change. I'm actually going to add in a number. I'm just going to add those in. I am going to check out our network when I refresh, and I'm going to type in user. So we should have a post that goes to the request for change for group and user data. So what that does is that fetches the data we want. So we've got the users. So we've got the groups list, we've got the object user list, which will contain admin, team member, and stuff like that. I want to see what data is here. So we've got profile picture. Ooh. All right. So this code. Yeah. All right. This code requires us doing something magical. Or we can go to the URL directly. I think going to the URL directly is going to be better. Okay, so URL test, no. All right, this is what we want. We want to go to this implementation. Oh, all right, so I've done it like this. Oh, all right. This is working, so I'm going to clean up that data. So get user and list and all that kind of stuff. So I want to go to that implementation. What we want to do is we want to have a look at the so object user results, get user list. We've got the destination and location ID. In this sort of case, this is a separate. Yeah. All right. So. Sorry, I'm all over the place at the moment. So there's our object results, there's our object results. What we want to do is something similar to this. We copy this, and then we find our, actually it's over here. We just paste it in. So user results will be the user objects filter, where the ID in, we won't be using object results, we'll be using group results, and we'll be using, instead of the assigned user ID, we'll be using the username ID, I believe. We annotate the profile picture on. This is why I wanted to actually get this code, because I needed to actually get this little bit line of code. We send all of that back. Now with this, I need to figure out how we're sending it back. Because I think if I have a look Because the one problem with Django is when you're dealing with JSON, sometimes it depends how you do the JSON, depends how you send it back, which is a bit annoying. So, just having a quick look. I thought I did this the other day. Guess I didn't. We just need to play around with it then. Okay, cool. So at the moment, returns a JSON dump and so forth like that. We're not wanting to do that. If we go back to the object data, no, didn't want to do that. URLs. Let's go to implementation. We could do JSON response. And then we've got to list the user results. And actually, I think it's... I think it's that. We'll find out in a second. So what we'll do is we'll go here, remove that. If there's a problem, we'll get a 500. All right, get. We don't have it calling it yet. Oh, am I actually building? No, I'm not. npm run watch. Sorry about that. I should have been building. Sorry, this will take 10 seconds to do. So no, we're gonna, yeah, if Vite is a lot faster, we'll switch over to it. But it involves me doing a test and all that kind of stuff. All right, we have a problem. Approval users was accessed during the render, but not defined on instance. All right, cool. So we just have a couple of bugs which we need to fix first. So what we've called it is approval users list. So if I scroll up to that one section, and I'll just paste this in. That's it. That was the bug. Wait a couple of seconds, hit reload. Oops. Oh no, that was just my rug again. We have an error. 404 not found. We have an undefined location ID. That is not good. We can get that from the RFC. Looks like I'm not accessing that data from here. So if we got RFC 0 and then PK, we'll get that information. So we just need to go in here. We need to scroll all the way down to our get approval list users. So this doesn't work. So we use RFC results .pk. And we just hit reload. Now we wait a little while, hit reload. All right, at least this toast is working. We've got a 500 error. All right, cool. Dump missing one requirement, a positional argument, FP. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to search this. just for an example where I use return HTTP result, serialize JSON user results. Okay. That is a plausibility. But that is using that as raw. Alright. But we're concatenating stuff in. There's this one, which we could potentially use. Okay. Oh, I hate when that happens. Alright. What we could do on our network tab, instead of reloading and stuff like that, we can just resend. And we got 200. Alright, sweet. So I'm just reloading to do show cards. Alright, sweet. So we're pretty much there. I've realized that we've got a double HR line. I will fix that up right now. And we'll get this all rendered out nicely. So, scrolling all the way up. And up. Implement. Oh, hey socks. Okay, we want to delete this line. We want to paste it after here. And that will be fine. Okay, sweetie. Okay, so from here, what do we want to do? We want to render the cards out. Now, we've already got the cards rendered out over at groups and users. We've got the same sort of structure, which is great news for us. So what we want to do is we want to go in here and be like, sweet, we want to do the same thing here. So I am going to go into our viewer, the JavaScript sort of stuff. I am going to hit the modules. Socks is going to knock the microphone halfway across my table. I should have gone very loud right then. We want to go submodules. We want groups and users. We're going to have a look at what components we're using. So we've got the group stuff and we've got the user stuff. So when there's no users, all right. Otherwise, for user in object user list, oh, we've just got the card. Cool. Now there's going to be some things different. We're not going to remove users. So there's not going to be a trash icon or anything like that. And we don't need to worry about this particular status. So this is different enough that I'm going to say we don't need to put this into a component. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bang that in right now. And we're going to play around with this. All right. So straight off the bat, we need that to actually be approval users list. We need to, let's bang that up like that. Let's what I'm going to do, Shift V, and this will need to go 1, 2, 3 tabs up. So 3, perfect. Now we don't have profile picture. Ooh, how are we doing this? Profile picture. Go to implementation. All right, we're gonna just copy this. Now that might be a thing which we might want to put in a mix in or something like that. If we start using it in multiple different places. All right, so we've got profile picture. So that should work now. User card details, first name, last name, email. And then from here, the remove functionality we remove, because we don't need it. And then we'll end the div. Okay. Didn't I paste that in? Oh, I did it under watch. Whoops. Definitely want to cut that out. All right. Let's wait a second. Let's hit reload. All right. So, we've got some CSS issues. Not a problem to fix. The reason being is we don't have this class. Very easy to put back in. So we go in. We have the... that's too far up. We've got the row. And then we've got all of this stuff. So what I want to do is... I want to put it here. So what is it called? User card list. All right, sweet. I'm just going to hit refresh. Perfect. So now we've got too many people there at the moment. We don't have the team leaders. I've just remembered we need to go back into here. And we need to put in one more condition. And that is group leader equals true. Because we only want the true ones. And then we hit refresh. And there we go. Waiting for approval. Actually, I might put a little HR up there too. Alright, hitting reload. Perfect. Now, one thing I don't like is the fact that this is should actually also be col MD8 like that. So quick and easy fix. That just makes everything consistent, and then everything lines up perfectly. This is a bit different because the information's on the top. I mean, we might want to put that like so it lines up like that later or whatever, just not really fussed. I've also noticed that this is just fitting. So, yeah. That's fine. Well, 33% minus 10. Oh, okay, yeah. Works better. It's fine. That's fine. We could... like so. Yeah, we might actually add in a bit of overriding style. Like so. Oh, there needs to be a space. Alright, with the calc, you need a space. And if we hit reload, And then if we actually jump on this component here, the user card itself, let's duplicate the node. Duplicate the node. As you see, everything fits perfectly fine. Like that. It looks better in that sort of, yeah, like that. I mean, we could put a class that overrides everything. Yeah, I think the inline's working at the moment. I mean, I don't prefer using inline for that. All right, let's go to the user card. Let's see what we can do. So we've got the user card, all that kind of stuff. We've got a width change when it's like that. When it's too big. Yeah, let's do that. Let's and dot, what are we calling it? Wide width calc 50% minus 10 pixels. All right. The reason being why not inline is I have less control over mobile and stuff like that. So if I now look at this, the user card, it's still in the inline. If I now look at the user card, we've got user card wide. The width has changed. But if we get too small, the width goes 100%, which obeys what we have down here. That's why I moved it to the class stuff. Pretty easy, just one line, a couple of lines of code changed, nothing exciting. All right, that feature has been implemented. I'm kind of happy with it. Okay, that was easy. Wasn't too hard, which is great news. I just want to actually duplicate this. I want to double check. Yep, perfect. Okay. So this is RFC information read only. Yep. All right. Cool. Let's review and QA. Let's go get status. Oh, just wait. I've got to stop the creation of it. Git add. So we've got the NearBeach URLs. We've got the NearBeach views. NearBeach views. Yep. Oh, just wait. Git diff NearBeach views object data views. I want to see what's up. All right, I just removed code. That's fine. Source JavaScript components. Yeah, all right, cool. This is all what we've just edited. So git add, git commit, new feature. Actually, let's go card 309. Implementation of approval list. Users approval list. List for RFCs. Now users can see which users to contact to get an RFC approved. When waiting for approval. You okay there, Socks? that is done. Okay. Save and close. Alright, so we're happy with that. That's now in review. Implement Gantt chart option for request for change. Yeah, that's going to happen. So the idea is with the request for changes is you can actually not request for change. Yeah, Gantt chart for request for change. We want to implement a Gantt chart for request for change. So when you're doing a request for change, you'll go down to like the run sheet. There'll be a ability to open it up as a Gantt chart. So we're looking into that, using the flow and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Once I've got to make the Gantt chart so that it can be used in multiple different places. That way we can have a ability for requirements to also have a Gantt chart, because requirements, if we have not list of customers, sorry, if we have a look at requirements and then requirement links, in this sort of case we don't have anything linked up or anything like that, but the idea is you'll have Gantt chart connected with requirement items, and underneath each of those items is a link. Then anything that's linked directly to the requirement itself will sit by itself down to, and you'll have all the dates and stuff like that. And the idea is you'll be able to move stuff up and down. I've got to figure out how to implement all of this. It will be a big process that will take some time. So yeah, it'll be interesting. The idea is we'll also be able to remove links from there too. So for example, if we have projects and so forth, like in the Gantt chart, we can delete them from there too. You'll be questioned if you wanted to delete that from the link and all that kind of fun stuff. The idea of the Gantt chart is you'll be able to edit the start date and so forth like that. I think how I wanted to set it up, I've got to do some research into other Gantt charts and see what exactly they have to offer. I don't want to steam forward and then create something that no one wants. So yeah, so that's pretty exciting news. I'm going to put this up to higher. We also got to depreciate the search mixin. That's pretty easy to do. That's me just going around and actually re-implementing the code. My job's what to focus. Yeah, that's going to happen over, hopefully, start of next year. So yeah. Anyway, I am sitting at 3 hours and 20 minutes. I'm pretty much beat. It's been a long day. The great news is we've discussed the object flow, we've discussed the public links, we've implemented the RFC approver list feature. So that's something I can scratch out right now. So let's actually go to the NearBeach.org. And let's update the site first. We can squeeze out another 10, maybe 20 minutes. So let's go to blogs. Let's so we don't need to worry about counter blow that one. Aims, test coverage, improvements to the marketing site. This is done. I used to be able to edit that. Oh, there. It's right there. Oh, sorry about that. All right, new features. Public links, community request, implementation, invite, RFC, a list who can approve. So that is going to be that now. And we can do that. This feature came around when I confused. Yep, sweet. Let's do that. Save and publish. So, current issues. Let's actually fix this one straight away. It's a simple RC update, RC change lead wizard. Oh, no, not that one. Sorry, no. Submit for approval. This one's too simple. We're right here. We can do this right now. So submit for approval. Submit RFC for approval. We don't want dark. We want button secondary. So git status, git add, git commit, bug fix. This is just too easy not to fix it right away. Yeah, I know, Socks. It literally just took me a couple of seconds. We need to change that and change that and git push. Yes. All right, so that one's been submitted. That one's now ready for retesting. Okay, if we go to here, we haven't really fixed any of these other bugs tonight, but once again, these are all planning sort of stuff. So over the weekend, I'll be sitting down thinking about this, hopefully drawing out a couple of diagrams and so forth like that, and fixing it all up. All right, so we can close this now. 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 Yeah, leave page. Yeah, close that. Close that. Close that. Close that. We're finishing up anyway. So I don't need to edit anything on there. I just need to do the counter bugs. So we current bugs. We currently have it at 12. Scheduled is going to be 6. The release bugs is going to be 1. We don't have any block bugs. We're fine with that. We're going to do that. All right, cool. So that's updated. That didn't take too long. Let's find someone to raid. Yeah, let's raid Pirate Software. It's been
as long as you are treating your players correctly, as long as your players feel good about the development process, as long as they enjoy what you're doing with the game, this is fine. Oh, Shay brought me noodles. Thank you.
Anyway, thank you very much everyone for coming tonight. It has been wonderful. We got quite a lot discussed tonight, which is great. I just needed to sit down and talk the process through. We really want to actually improve how NearBeach works, and there's some assumptions that we did early on, which have turned out really it's not good for users whatsoever. For example, if a user closes a project, how do they reopen it? That's going to be really easy to them, and so forth like that. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, and I do hope you have a great weekend. So, yeah, thank you.
That's it. A Hot Pocket is a Wellington. A corn dog is a Wellington.